Welcome to the CU 2.0 podcast.
Hi, and welcome to the CU 2.0 podcast with big new ideas about credit unions and conversations about innovative technology with credit union and fintech leaders. This podcast is brought to you by Quillo, the real-time loan syndication network for credit unions, and by your host, longtime credit union and financial technology journalist Robert McGarvey. And now, the CU 2.0 podcast with Robert McGarvey.
Can a $350 million credit union play in the big leagues? Don't tell Christine Blake, CEO of $350 million Cardinal Credit Union in Ohio, that she can't, because she is. A few years ago, Cardinal signed on as the official credit union of the Cleveland Browns, one of the historic football teams dating back to 1946. Yeah, the Browns have had a few rough years recently, but this is a team with real history and an enthusiastic fan base in Cleveland today, said Blake. On the show, she tells how she made the agreement with the Browns, what it means for the credit union. She also tells about Cardinal's Little Brownies card, which helps children learn about finance. A very cool product. But she's on the show with big news about an innovative professional sports team credit union executive summit, where credit unions with relationships with pro sports teams will come together for 3 days of meetings in San Francisco, March 19th through 21st. Among the presenters along with Cardinal are ENT, the official credit union of the Denver Broncos, and Northwest Financial Federal Credit Union, which has a relationship with the Washington Commanders. I haven't heard about this stuff before. This is a first. Listen up. Tell me about how you became the official credit union, financial institution of the Cleveland Browns, and why.
Sure. A couple of things. One, first, we had done some advertising with the Browns just through commercials during the games, and that's how people got notice of us. And then I had an opportunity to meet with some of the leadership at the Browns at an event, and we just started talking and had a great conversation. Not even about a partnership, just a great people networking conversation. After that, we had a couple of lunches. And they had proposed the idea to me that they were looking for a partner in our space, and they were looking for it to focus in on the youth market, saw that was a market that we focused in on in our area and what we thought about it. And we thought this is a great idea because at the same time, we were just getting ready to launch a debit card for kids. And so to be able to launch it in tandem with the Browns and have a savings club and have a card branded with the Browns seemed just like a perfect fit for us to be part of our community and also to live out our mission and be able to deliver it in a better way that we thought would resonate with more of our membership here in Cleveland.
How does that card work?
It works. So it's a debit card, and the parents also have access to the card as well. So they can put parental controls on the card. So you only want to spend X amount of dollars. You could also put in items like chores or jobs that children could do, and then you could pay them for it all within the app that's attached to the card. And that is just the first part of teaching children, just sound money management skills, their first steps. It has educational videos also included into the app. So you could even say, hey, I'm going to pay you $1 to watch these videos, or I'm going to give you X for watching the videos regarding financial education. And parents really wanted to make sure that if they have some opportunity to teach their children, but also give them access, because parents today don't want to give their children cash. People just don't operate in cash anymore. So the debit card is a good way to give children access to do activities and also being able to monitor.
And what does it say on the card?
It says, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's on our website. It says little brownies on it, and it has the mascot of the Browns on it, and it has Cardinal Credit Union on the actual card itself. So it is branded in the orange and brown with the Cardinal and Browns logo.
Okay, see, I live in a radio world. I wanted you to say that so that people could picture it in their minds.
Oh, you're so thoughtful.
And I'll have a link to that in the show notes. So that's pretty cool. So you're a kid, you get to have this card. Now they probably weren't big Browns fans last year, but let's not even dwell on that. So,
Isn't that always the case? We're lucky in Cleveland. We have loyal fans, but yes, exactly. There are years that are better than others.
yeah, yeah, and that's true in football. I mean, look at the Patriots. 10 years ago, they couldn't lose to anybody. Now they can't beat anybody. Things go up, things go
Mhm.
down. So, and what benefit has the credit union gotten from the relationship with the Browns? And you've also done some other things, like you've had a specific relationship with a star player, for instance, I believe.
Correct. Correct. We've had a relationship with Nick Chubb. And what we worked on with Nick Chubb is we wanted to launch the card, but we also, at the same time, I shouldn't say, but also at the same time, we thought it would resonate even more. Nick Chubb had been injured the year previously, so he's going to be coming back to play. And we thought that that would be a great time to partner and use it as an opportunity to have his face with us launching the Little Brownies debit card. So that's how we ended up working with Nick Chubb. And then we also worked with him on another project we had as well. Because of the partnership, we are able to do more than just the Little Brownie savings card and the debit card for kids. We hosted a program with Visa called Visa NFL Financial Football, and we hosted it at the Browns Stadium. Nick Chubb also was there and led one of our student teams. We had 60 students. Nick Chubb led one team and Mo Hurst led the other team. And the two high school teams competed in financial football. And essentially, what it does, it asks a financial question. And when you answer correctly, your team moves the ball, and vice versa. If you don't answer correctly, doesn't happen so great. So that's the goal of answering the financial questions. And then, of course, you have a winner at the end of the game.
Give me a sample question.
It may say, of these options to secure your financial data, which may be the best?
Oh, cool.
A code lock on your phone. So it would have A, B, C, and D, or all of the above. And then you would answer. It may ask a basic budgeting question. Just different tools. And we also teach in these high schools. So a lot of the questions all resonate with the information that we have been teaching in their classes.
A lot of credit unions are involved in sponsoring sports teams, more often college teams, I think, than professional teams. Well, there's a gazillion more college teams. So, are you one of the smallest credit unions that's sponsoring a professional team?
I wouldn't say we're the smallest, but we are smaller than some of the larger credit unions that sponsor professional sports teams. And some sponsor both. They may sponsor the college team and a professional team.
Is that where your relationship with Visa started?
No, our relationship with Visa started long before any of this. Our debit cards and credit cards for our membership for Cardinal are Visa branded. So whether you have a Visa card from Cardinal or a debit card from Cardinal, they're both Visa. So our relationship with Visa has been long standing in offering our debit and credit cards to our membership as a whole.
Now, do you go to Browns games?
I do. As I didn't go to as many this last year because one of the things that we do, part of our partnership, we have tickets, we have seats available to us, and we use those seats as giveaways to our card holders. So every game we'll take all of our little brownie debit card holders and we'll do a drawing, and then we'll allocate tickets to those members. And then we announce each week of a game who the members were that week of the tickets. So we use the tickets for that allocation. So I try to at least now get to at least one game per season with the credit union. Other than that, I'm going on my own.
Oh, that's very cool for the kids. I'm an old guy. I still remember going to Yankee Stadium. I grew up right outside New York City, like when I was 10 years old and 12 years old.
Yeah.
It was through an organization my father was involved in, and I still remember that.
It's an absolute perk, and we get wonderful feedback from it. Not only do I get to use this debit card and learn about money, and my parents, allow me to do more than I normally would be able to do with the card, I also get this opportunity to attend, one of the games with my parents.
Now, tell me about this event you're involved in San Francisco, which again is sponsored by Visa, right?
This one is sponsored. This was actually sponsored by several. This one's not sponsored by Visa. It's being hosted at Visa Innovation Headquarters, but it's actually being sponsored by several credit unions. There's three of us. There's three of us that are sponsoring it, and along with some other of our partners. So we're sponsoring with Valera, who's also part of our credit card and debit card processing and technology, as well as Channel 5 and another solutions company we work with, Ally. So it's a combination that are sponsoring it, and we are hosting it at Visa's Innovation Headquarters in San Francisco.
And Valera is a 900-pound gorilla, particularly since it ate co-op a year or two ago.
Correct.
And Ent is a 900-pound gorilla.
Correct. And Ent has the relationship with the Denver Broncos. And Northwest Credit Union has the relationship with the Washington Commanders. So that's how the three of us became friends and met each other.
And Northwest is also a pretty big credit union, and
Correct.
It's a gigantic credit union. So
Correct.
you're sort of the little guy on the block here.
Exactly. And so one of the reasons of having the summit that I decided to work on as an idea that generated was I want to share information. And credit unions are very collaborative in nature, especially when you're in different states like this. And we share. And so I thought it would be a great idea to bring as many as we could together to share ideas, best practices, network together, develop relationships on this specific topic so we could share resources, introduce our executive teams to each other so they also could bounce ideas off of each other so that we can all maximize our partnerships, because in the end, it's all about our members. We want to do what's best for our members, and we're in these partnerships to help increase our memberships and retain our memberships.
Is that working for you?
Yes, I believe, and we measure our relationship with the Browns in dollars and as in members. So it is, we're 2 years into our relationship, and we have definitely benefited from it as a credit union.
Well, I would think it maybe I'm wrong, but my guess would be it makes you seem bigger than you actually are in the Cleveland market. I mean, if you have that relationship with the Browns, you got to be big. They're big.
I would think so. It's a part of right. It's a part of brand identity as well. You're seeing us on a bigger scale than you might normally think of Cardinal or think of a credit union in general. So I do think overall it does help with brand identity and has helped us to reach a larger market so that, oh, let me go see what Cardinal Credit Union's about. Oh, anyone can join. What do they have available? So it definitely has helped us be a bigger player, I would say, in the Cleveland market.
Now, you've been in your position for quite a while, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct. I've been here for 14 years.
What was the size of the credit union when you joined it? Asset size?
We were just under 150.
And what's it today?
350.
And are you happy with that growth?
I am happy with that growth, but like every executive, you're always looking to do more. So we're very pleased with our growth. We're very pleased what we've been able to do in the communities and expand our communities. But do we want to grow more and reach more within our communities? Absolutely.
Are you exploring merger opportunities?
Always. Always.
Good. You gave the true answer. That's good.
Yeah. We're a consolidating industry. The whole banking and finance, banking and credit unions, we're a consolidating industry. We have been for the past 10 years. I mean, credit unions have had themselves in 10 years. That's going to continue. So do we want to look for partners that are like-minded, like we are? We feel we are a progressive credit union serving and living our mission. Do we want to find other credit unions in a similar space as us? Absolutely.
Now let's talk a bit more about that event in San Francisco. As I looked at it, the price was very appealing. I think it was $250 or something.
Mhm. Mhm.
Which, as for conferences, that's cheap. At
Very.
least, and San Francisco hotel rooms now are fairly cheap, ladies and gentlemen.
That is true. And we have great partners. Having it at Visa Innovation Quarters and having a great partner like Visa being able to help with a portion, that's always a significant partner and very helpful. And we're very grateful for what they've been able to do to help us provide the summit location. That's important. And also, it's collaborative so we can get together as credit union leaders. We just need to pay for us to be able to be there, but this is not intended to be a moneymaker of any sorts. And it is intentionally to keep the costs down so that people can attend and you can send one or two executives.
Yeah, to me, 250 that's like pocket change for most of the conferences I look at.
Well,
So
thank you.
I think it's a really good deal, and it's basically 2.5 days of meetings.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of stuff happening. Uh,
Oh,
how, how
the days, yes.
how many people are you hoping to get there?
I was hoping for a minimum of 50 because there are 25 credit unions that have these relationships. So we knew the population in this year, we were just doing ones that already had established partnerships. This year is not about people looking to have a partnership or what a partnership is about with a professional team. This was about, do you have the relationships and how do we maximize them together and share? So that was the genesis of the summit. And so by population, there were 25 credit unions that had the relationships. And we figured if we had two, because we really were looking to have the executive teams there. If we would have two per credit union, we would end up with about 50.
And that's 25 teams with relationships with professional teams.
Yes.
Aside from football and NBA basketball, what other? I guess baseball. What other kinds of sports are involved?
Those are the only ones we have. We did invite, hockey as well. It's mainly the baseball that's coming. Oh no, we do have one hockey coming. Baseball, hockey, football, and basketball.
Mm-hmm. Men's, just the NBA, or women's basketball too?
We just did the men's because we didn't have any ones that had the relationship yet that we found with the female teams. But that would be the hope, next year and following years, if this is successful, to open it up to, soccer, open it up to the other ones that might have relationships that we're just finding out about, and then have a track that is also for people interested in these partnerships.
Yeah, credit union that serves specific demographics would really
Mhm.
benefit with a soccer sponsorship. I kind of imagine there already are some that are doing that. It's
Yes, that would be the hope overall. If based on the success that we seem to be having with this summit, we'll know more after since it's our first one, and we get our surveys back and feedback. But I anticipate it will be very well received, and that would be where we would go next to grow it.
You wouldn't turn away someone who's a credit union executive who doesn't have an existing sponsorship, but hears about this and says, "Wow, this would be a cool thing to find out about."
Correct.
Oh,
Correct.
good. You're not going to be vetted at the door.
No, no, and in credit union space, as you know, we all know each other anyway.
It's well, also the crowd is shrinking too. So,
Yes. It's really, there's some really neat thought processes and products that people have brought to market, and that's very fascinating.
now, what are you hoping to learn at this event?
I am hoping to learn how to maximize my partnership. I want to make sure I'm getting the most out of my agreement. So here's my agreement. What else could I be doing within my agreement, or should I be doing in my next agreement to maximize it even further? So that is really what I'm looking for, number one. And two, I shouldn't say, and sort of in tandem, is networking with my peers because we share so many ideas. If you get from every conference three things that you can implement, I consider that success. So if I could get three great ideas that I'm going to implement from my peers and networking and connect my teams to get future ideas, I would consider that a success.
And what are you going to talk about?
Well, we're going to talk about, we broke it down into various categories because I wanted to be very intentional about each category. So, for example, one category is about agents and players. If you're using a player within your partnership, or if you're using a player outside your partnership, how do you best use a player to deliver on your brand promise, to deliver on your products, your service to your members? How do you tie that together? So that would be one type of session. The next session might be from the actual sports team. So from the Browns, from the Broncos, from the Commanders, from their perspective, what are they looking for in a partnership? How do they find a partner? What do they consider a good partner? Do they take any partner? What are they looking for? And how do you have the best relationship to go the extra mile for the partners that you do eventually enter into agreements with? And then we have ones that are sessions on PR. How do you tell your story to the public, to your members? What's the best way to tell this story? How does it make sense? And how do you connect the dots for your membership? The other one also is an agency perspective. There's so many agencies out there that will help you with the relationships. They'll help you with the marketing. What do the agencies have that you might want to work with them to also be advantageous for you?
That kids card must be a gold mine for you because that would get a lot of attention, I think.
It's been really great. And one we're going to showcase with Visa. Visa has this Visa Financial Football. That was an excellent event that we put on and was so well received by our partner high schools. What other products, not even by Visa, but what other services are out there that you can use to enhance the relationships and to bring more to your people?
Now, when you're the official credit union of the Cleveland Browns, what does that mean?
Mm-hmm. Besides what's in the agreement. So every agreement obviously is negotiated differently. So because we have this agreement, we get A, B, and C. But some of the additional pieces we get outside of what I would say outside the agreement or get as a benefit of the agreement. So when we do our commercials, if you've seen any of our commercials, we have a lot of the people, the actors and actresses in the commercials wearing Browns gear. And it's so fun because in our commercials, they're wearing Browns gear. We can have our logo present. We're throwing a football around. And that just ties it even more. In the one that we have with Nick Chubb, he's there with the debit card, passing the debit card around with the kids. He's in his uniform. With his, I shouldn't say his uniform, but is in his jersey. The children are also in Browns gear, and it just brings it to life, and it just makes it so much more fun and engaging. I believe that people resonate with that more, and that's just another benefit of the partnership, I believe.
When you were putting this partnership together, did it require board approval?
Yes, yes.
I was guessing that it would.
Yes, just as a good business practice and good leadership, I would still bring it to my board. Because again, you have to be all in. If you're not all in, and the board of any credit union, they're responsible for strategic direction. And if that's not a direction that they feel is going to be beneficial, or you can't provide the case of why it's beneficial, then maybe we shouldn't be doing it.
No, I think it's very cool what you're doing. So if I were on the board, I'd say yes, do it.
And thank goodness they have. And we do also give updates as to how is the relationship, what is the membership because of it, what are the accounts or members we've reached that we haven't been able to reach previously. So we do measure all of the members because of the relationship.
Is anybody unhappy that you have this relationship?
Thankfully, no. We have not had any complaints or members saying, give up the relationship, or why do you have it? We may have got some whys early on, but we did a good communication to the membership of what we were doing and why we were doing it and what we were going to be able to offer to them with it. and the membership seemed to appreciate, I would say, the relationship because people are Browns fans here. They like this team. I'm surprised sometimes. You think win or lose that fans are going to come and go. These fans are loyal fans.
Once upon a time, the Browns was a very, very good football team.
Yes, and I'm hoping that continues.
I mean, I'm an old guy. I remember when it was quite good. So, well, we're talking before you were born, I think.
Probably. And even our team, it brings just such fun energy to our Cardinal team as well. We dress up for Browns days. It just brings a good energy on those days. We have little tailgate parties in our lobbies, and it's just fun.
Now, when this idea popped up, did you sit there thinking to yourself, well, should I check out the NBA team? Should I check out the baseball team as alternatives? I mean, in other words, is the football thing the best route to go?
Right. I definitely thought of them all. That I would say yes. Because we have relationships with them all, I definitely thought of them all. At the same time, I thought that in analysis of impressions, viewership, potential market, history, as far as fan base, I felt that this was the best choice for Cardinal right now.
Oh, and why is the credit union Cardinal?
We are Cardinal because we originally started out as a teachers credit union, and now we're open to anyone. Now we're open to all and anyone. But we started out as a Mentor Schools credit union, and the Mentor Schools mascot was a Cardinal. So we were the Mentor Schools credit union. And as we grew and as access became available to all, we wanted a name that resonated more open and not as selective. And since Cardinal was the state bird and also the mascot of the school that we started, it just seemed a great fit for us. And that's how we became Cardinal Credit Union.
The Cardinal is Ohio State bird.
Mm-hmm.
Son of a gun. I didn't know that.
Well, we are a state chartered credit union that anyone can join nationally. That's sort of how our charter works.
So when you renegotiate your deal with the Browns, will you ask for more or different things, and perhaps you'll hear things at this conference that will stimulate even more thought?
That is correct. That is exactly what I'm hoping for. I want to stimulate more thought, more ideas, so that when I do go to negotiate this next contract, I'll have a better idea of what else is out there. What are the credit unions doing? But not only what they're doing, what have they done that they've had proven success with? You could have 100 ideas, but not every idea is a good idea. You could try 10, but maybe only one of the 10 ideas works. I would like to take away what pieces or ideas have you implemented that have a proven record of success for your membership. Because in the end, we want to return value to our members. That's what I want to be able to negotiate in the contract so that I have the most value out of the contract for my membership.
Well, you're also working this relationship. Sometimes credit unions and banks will make a sponsorship deal, and that's the end of it, really, basically. We're the official credit union of blah, blah, blah. Whereas you're having events, you're having this, that, and the other thing. You have that kid's debit card with a Browns connection. You're working it. So I think you'll get better results that way.
And it makes a better partnership. One of the other pieces that we have with our partnership is UH is the junior backers sponsor. So they sponsor experiences for youth. So it might be, for example, they're going to do a movie night at the training camp, and UH will sponsor that. And since they sponsor youth and we sponsor youth, we partner together. So if they have an event, we can be present at their event, and vice versa. If we have an event, we try to invite them to ours. So then we also are developing partnerships with other businesses in the community as well. And I think that is another part of the partnership that is advantageous. So not only collaborating with credit unions, we're collaborating with businesses in our communities that are all trying to make the community better.
What kinds of businesses?
Ours is mostly, since we're with UH, the hospital, so we're mostly in that space versus something else, since we're both working with the youth with the Browns.
I like to see a small credit union doing cool stuff. I don't have any animosity towards big credit unions. Like Ent is actually a sweetheart of a credit union.
Mm-hmm.
But the credit union movement is built not on the multi-billion-dollar credit unions.
No, and that's exactly, I mean, that's our tagline. Our tagline is the same as America's credit union, same as, our national association. We're people helping people. That's what it's about. And that's what it's been about for our credit union. And it is nice at the size we are that we are really able to deliver that to our members.
Before we go, think hard about how you can help support this podcast so we can do more interviews with more thoughtful leaders in the credit union world. What we're trying to figure out here in these podcasts is what's next for credit unions. What can they do to really, really, really make a difference in the financial scene? Can't all be mega banks, can it? It's my hope it won't all be mega banks. It'll always be a place for credit unions. That's what we're discussing here. So figure out how you can help. Get in touch with me. This is rjmcgarvey@gmail.com. Robert McGarvey, again, that's rjmcgarvey@gmail.com. Get in touch. We'll figure out a way that you can help. We need your support. We want your support. We thank you for your support. The CU 2.0 podcast.